Hello, my name is Donald Jenkins, your Master Purpose Development Coach, and welcome to Breakthrough Sales Coaching, where I'm going to be doing a series of videos talking to you about how to move your sales career from being stuck, regardless of whether you are an entrepreneur or a sales professional working for an organization. There are just times in our career where it seems like we are stuck. So I'm going to be sharing some secrets as to what that means, that's going to allow you to identify some key components to move you from being stuck to a place of breaking through in your career, in your profession. So you don't want to miss what I'm going to be sharing in this video. So don't go away. I will be right back. Today, what I want to talk to you about are three major components of the breakthrough sales coaching process. And you see them listed on the board. Number one, I'm going to talk to you about a major thought that I'm sure that is going to absolutely revolutionize your thinking in regards to breaking through in the sales process. You want to make sure that you have a pen and a piece of paper to take copious notes in that area. Number two, we're going to talk about the program creation. In other words, why did I create the Breakthrough Sales Coaching Program? And then number three, I'm going to talk about the biggest challenge that we as an entrepreneur or sales professional that we face. So let's go back up to the top of the board and let's look at the major thought. Now, one of the things that we do here at the Purpose Development Institute, my company is a think tank. I spend well over 20,000 hours, almost 30 years in researching how to use purpose as a resource in so many different areas of our life. And this is a thought that I discovered in the trenches. A few years ago, I actually ended a 20-year marriage, found myself homeless and broke. And this thought came to me, and it declares that your degree of success in the future is dependent upon your degree of purpose in the present. Make sure that you write that thought down, because when I got into that moment, the first thing I was thinking about was, how in the world am I going to turn this setback into a comeback? I had lost everything from business to money, and I was trying to figure out a way, how can I formulate a strategy to turn this setback into a comeback? And that's when this thought began to emerge in my life. And I began to see that if I can control my degree of purpose for that moment, then I would be able to experience a high degree of success in the future. And that's where you are in your sales professional career or your entrepreneur career, is that when you can control the degree of purpose in your present, then you can control the degree of success in your future. So number two, let's talk about the program creation, because that thought, it leads to the program creation. When I was in that moment, I wanted to find those things or identify what I call controllable performance mechanism. In other words, there were some things that was happening in my life that I couldn't control. I couldn't control ending a 20-year marriage, and finding myself homeless and broke. But what I could control was my degree of purpose. And that's important for you, because there are some things in your sales career that, guess what, you're not going to be able to control. It could be the market conditions. It could be your customers. You can't control what your customers can do, but you have to understand that you can control your degree of purpose. And it's your degree of purpose in that moment that's going to determine your degree of success in your future, because purpose is a very powerful force that will influence your attitude and your behavior at every moment of your life. So that leads to number three, because in that moment, I discovered one of the biggest challenges that we as an entrepreneur or sales professional that we have, and that is, how do we control the degree of purpose in our sales career, or just the sales cycle, the sales activity? Well, that's what I discovered. I discovered that you can control that degree of purpose in that sales cycle. And that's what the breakthrough sales coaching process is all about, is that it's a training and coaching initiative to show you how to control that degree of purpose in the sales cycle. Now, this is important because when we don't control the degree of purpose in the sales cycle, we have a tendency to disengage from income producing activities. And this is where many people derail when it comes to the sales cycles or their sales performance. So that's why this is critically important for you as an entrepreneur or as a sales professional, is that you understand the things that I'm going to be talking about in this series of video that I'm going to be sharing with you. And that is, how do you get a handle and control that degree of purpose? Now, one of the things I want to encourage is that when we talk about purpose at the Purpose Development Institute, we're not talking about what you do for a living. We're not talking about your passionate use of your gifts and talents. We found purpose to be so much more sophisticated than that. You know, me and my business partner, we just completed a major research with doctoral students completing their degree. And one thing that we found out is that everybody have a different definition of purpose. I'm sure that you have your own definition of purpose. But one of the things that we found out was that when it comes to leveraging the strength that comes from purpose, and that's the reason why this is important, controlling your degree of purpose, is because there's strength in purpose. So this Breakthrough Sales Coaching Program, it reveals how you can tap into that strength, because when it comes to leveraging the strength that comes from purpose, people always look for those mechanisms to be able to empower their intentions to outweigh the resistance that they might be experiencing at that moment. Well, why is that important? Because I define purpose like this. It's when your intent to perform outweighs your resistance to perform. In other words, you're going to always face resistance in your sales career. And what you have to focus on is that how can you empower your intentions to perform to outweigh the resistance that you're going to be experiencing every day. You know, when I was in that homeless and broke situation, I had a lot of resistance that some days I didn't want to get out of bed. Some days I didn't want to make a phone call. I didn't want to make that visit, you know, and this is resistance that you face on a day-to-day basis. So we call it the strength factor at the Purpose Development Institute. And so here's the deal. This is where many people get stuck, is that they have a weak strength factor. And when your strength factor is weak, then guess what? You find yourself beginning to be stuck in that particular situation because now the resistance is outweighing your intentions. And that's why the Breakthrough Sales Coaching process is an innovative solution to help you move your career beyond being stuck, because I reveal what those solutions are on how you can increase your intent to perform so that it can outweigh the resistance to perform. So here's what I need you to do. I need you to go to my website, www.newbreedachievers.com. Make sure you reach out to me. Make sure that you connect with me in regards to my one-on-one coaching. I work with entrepreneurs. I work with sales professionals to be able to transfer this skill set so that you can make a quantum leap in your sales career. Because regardless of who you are, if you're an entrepreneur and you're in any type of business, guess what? You are in the sales business. I always say it like this, is that if you're in the people business, then you're also in the purpose business. So in other words, you're going to be doing business with people that puts you in the people business. So it also puts you in the purpose business. So there's some things about purpose that you need to discover that will allow you to move your sales career beyond being stuck. So this is Donald Jenkins again, and I cannot wait to share more insight that's going to help you have a breakthrough sales coaching experience.